Even before I started to work, I grew up in church, like many people, and I was afforded opportunities to recite poems, to read Bible scripture, to chair programs, to lead services of different kinds. So I think that's where the foundation for me really began. And when I recognized that because of your leadership in a particular area, it had the power to affect people's mood and their responses, and being able to get people to do things. I didn't recognize it at the time. As a matter of fact, like many other children, I shied away from wanting to do those things. But then the more I embraced it, the more I recognized that I loved it. And the passion showed. And I always found myself going a little beyond what was required of me. And so when I started to work, that same approach carried through. So one day, I was asked to share some brief remarks for a supervisor at the time who was retiring. And so I thought to myself, I don't just want to go to the front of the room and just say, it's been a pleasure to know you. Please accept this token on our behalf. I wanted to do something more. So I went away. I prepared a whole poem and everything. And naturally, those who know me, I like a little bit of theatrics. So I went away and I prepared this poem and delivered on the day. And right in the room, and I hope she's watching this, right in the room was the then public relations officer. I think that was her title then, for the Central Bank of Barbados, Noveline Bristol. And at the end of it, she came to me and she said, Alicia, wow, like you got some talent there that, I didn't really know about. And how would you feel about taking up an opportunity to chair an award ceremony with me? And I was like, what? You mean me? You sure you mean me? And this was before I think I was even appointed to the organization or anything like that. So here's this temporary officer being afforded what other people normally at the managerial level would do. And so I took it up, and a little green at the time, she, gave me some correction and pointed me in the way that I should go. And we just never looked back. It became another event, another event. And then that turned into also being afforded opportunities to lead in the area of marketing and stuff like that for different projects and initiatives. So man, it's been a journey, but it's one that I remain totally passionate about. Many people refer to me as a whisperer of large events, especially conferences. I have quite a few under my belt now, some from my former place of employ right through to where I am today. And yeah, I just love them. I just love them. It excites me in a way that regular events don't. Large events, I see them as a challenge, but like as a canvas that is just waiting for you to put some paint on it, some glitter, some color, just make it come alive. And I think it's just the adrenaline rush that I get. So I like to hear people say things like, oh my gosh, well, but we don't have a lot of time, and how are we going to get this done? Just leave it to Beaver, right? I just go away. And of course, it's not something I do by myself, because there are a team of people you would work with to execute something like that. But just being able to pull all the different elements together and put it right there on paper in front of you, where you can see how it plays out from beginning to end, it's definitely a strong suit of mine. And I too have been able to bring that to bear on my job here at the FSC. So we've had a number of events. One of those which I take exceptional pride in is our FSC 2.0 website launch and public engagement event. That was one for the books. It was something that we didn't have a blueprint for it. So it really just took a lot of creativity and us being able to just go away and brainstorm on what it could look like. And I think we aced it. So being a whisperer, yeah, it just comes naturally for me. I like it. I like the challenge. And just being able to sit and watch it all play out in front of me, that gives me ultimate satisfaction. As a manager in the area of corporate communications, you become a storyteller. You become a translator. And that is essentially who I am. But to talk a little bit more about communications, first of all, I like to see corporate communications in any organization as the grandmother or the auntie in your family. Every family has one of them that brings everybody together, or that person who ensures that the other side of the family gets the information. So you didn't know that Paul was coming in from overseas today, but the auntie or the granny called and said, "You know that Paul here, you know?" I like to see communications as that, where we bring the information to the audiences that need to receive it and in a way that they can understand. For me as well, it is about ensuring that the organization, and in this case, the FSC, ensuring that we communicate with our internal stakeholders in an impactful way, in a relatable way. That's our staff and even our board by extension. And then our external stakeholders, so those who we regulate in the financial services sector, making sure that they understand what policies they're meant to be guided by, the guidelines, the guidance notes, bulletins, circulars, all of the things that they need to receive, but translating them in a way that they can understand so that there's compliance at the end of the day. So essentially, as manager of corporate communications and public education, I give support to the stakeholder engagement pillar of the organization's focus.
The Financial Services Commission licenses, supervises, and regulates non-bank financial institutions operating in Barbados.
My pension plan at work.
My insurance and securities.
My credit union.
We are proactive.
We monitor for compliance and we act in your best interests to prevent breaches of the Financial Services Commission Act.
The Financial Services Commission, helping to promote a fair, safe, and stable financial system. Learn more about us at fsc.gov.bb.
The Financial Services Commission, gatekeepers guiding your way. FSC is here to stay. Integrity, excellence, leading, that's right, for a stable future shining bright. FSC, we stand for you, keeping finances strong and true. Insurance, pensions, securities, and credit unions too. With FSC, we'll see it through, building trust in all we do. Regulation that's fair and right. With FSC, your future's bright. FSC, we see it through, building trust in all we do. Regulation that's fair and right. With FSC, your future's bright. FSC, we see it through, building trust in all we do. Regulation that's fair and right. With FSC, your future's bright. FSC, we see it through. Regulation that's fair and right. With FSC, your future's bright.
Hi, I am Alicia Bascombe, and you are watching FSC Speaks. When we're looking at how do we balance the technical output in terms of our communique with understanding, accessibility, comprehension on the part of the audiences that we're reaching out to. So it's not always easy for us to break down the technical jargon, but we're always up for the challenge. And so what we found is that sometimes it means taking a step back and reading that information through the eyes of somebody who may be new to the space, or someone who may not even have any real experience being an operator in the financial services space, or even the public at large. And so once we take on that approach, it helps us to simplify the language. It helps us to become a lot more creative with how we build out our content for our website and our social platforms, especially our social platforms. We have a lot of fun there, where we're able to, prepare things in graphical form, sometimes just using a lot more of the simple ABCs or 1, 2, 3s, things that people could connect with more readily. For us, essentially, tone matters, getting it right matters, being informative, and we want to be helpful but not preachy in the way that we communicate. So as long as we are clear in our communication, as long as we communicate confidently and competently as well, I believe that our audience benefits from that type of clarity in our delivery. FSC 2.0, a term that we've really embraced here, it has also become our identity. It is something that we are not just working towards, but something that we are definitely trying to live out now, in the here and now. FSC 2.0 is all about innovation, discovery, and engagement. That, if you think about it as well, is at the heart of what communications is all about. And so we are looking to modernize the way that we communicate with our different stakeholders. Not just modernize, but to become more connected. Because you can find so many new avenues through which you can communicate, but it doesn't make the connection any greater. But we are spending a lot of time being intentional about connecting with our market actors, for example. And so, as I mentioned, communications is really at the heart of that. Whether we're talking about digital forms of communication or just getting out there and rubbing shoulders with people, being on the ground with people, that is what will help us to advance our FSC 2.0 mantra. Really taking on the face of a new age regulator, not being caught up in, dated websites and just sending out emails to say, hey, we need you to do this, but also making space or creating space for people to feed back to us, telling us how they feel, telling us how we can deliver better in our remit as a regulator. All of that is wound up in our focus under the FSC 2.0 brand. Also, showing people why what we do matters. If people can better understand why we exist as a regulator and why our mandate, even in ensuring that there is security in the financial space for people who are investing, if people can understand that, then it makes them a lot more open to hearing from us and engaging with us, and even understanding what recourse they have when things don't go quite according to plan. So, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity for me to let our viewers know we are online. You can find us, first of all, on our brand new spanking website if you've not visited it within the last year. You can find us at www.fsc.gov.bb. And reach out to us, let us know what you think. If there's some information that you want to see there that you don't find, please reach out and let us know. You can send that information to communications@fsc.gov.bb. That's another way that you can reach out to us as well. Also, we are on socials. You can find us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Check it out. We really have a lot of content there already, which we're very proud of, but we are also looking to expand what we make available and accessible to you, especially in the area of consumer education. Take a look at our website, Visit the Consumer Education tab and you'll find loads of resources there. When I joined the FSC back in 2022, for all intents and purposes, it really was a one-man band at the time. And so I quickly recognized that if we're to get up to speed and if we're really going to be able to deliver strategically on the stakeholder engagement focus that the organization would have earmarked at the time, it meant that we needed to build up capacity on the team. It also meant that we needed to be clear in our focus. So what is it that we really can accomplish? What is it that we have to accomplish in order to move the needle? And so quite quickly, we recognized that we had to do so through dynamic channels, and social media was a no-brainer. So that started sometime thereafter, once we were able to have an idea of the kind of content that we need to produce. So of course, we looked at what other regulators were doing, but for us internally, we sat, we met, we had conversations surrounding where the gaps are. What is it that people are reaching out to us for consistently that we are otherwise not delivering, maybe not in a timely enough manner? So with our socials having come on board and even with our new website now, that has really changed the game for us. We've even had some feedback from members in the global space saying, well, hey, now I can find this on the website and that wasn't there before. Or I can see on your socials that you've just updated your website with content in this particular area. So we take great delight in those. We know that there's some other areas that are still to be built out. So we're not a done deal, but we certainly are proud of the advancements that have been made thus far. One of my absolute greatest accomplishments since joining the FSC in the area of comms has to be just making the FSC more visible. It's that for me. Whether it's online, offline, engaging with people in person, I feel like the FSC has really taken on a new identity in the marketplace, and I'm really proud of that. Trust is everything. And when you think about it, whether inside or outside of an organization, if you don't trust a person, if you don't trust the party on the other end, then you're hardly going to have a meaningful relationship. And we want to build relationship. We want to build relationship with all those that we serve in one way or another. And so it means being clear in our communication. It means listening, as I mentioned before, really being able to hear from them as to what they would want. And sometimes even acknowledging when we don't quite get it right. And that is not always an easy place for a regulator to stand in, but we have created that kind of space over time where people can reach out to us and make suggestions, even by way of our consultations. When we reach out to the market, when we're about to put out new guidelines, we first reach out. We ask for your feedback. We ask for suggestions on how we can maybe make things a little better. And so all of those are ways that we ensure there's that trust between us and those that we serve. Although we are a regulator, we're not only here to regulate, we're here to educate as well. We want to ensure that if you have a financial decision to make, you can do so in an informed way. We want to ensure that we're providing what you need to feel confident in making such a decision. And if we've done our job well, it means that you feel comfortable. So for me, the key message here is we don't just regulate, but we also educate. And we are here for you. I love a good laugh. I love to laugh. I love people and I love to laugh. There are times outside of work that I just prefer to be quiet. Sometimes I may just retreat with music. I may take a long drive. I really enjoy driving, just being on the road by myself sometimes, where I can just take in the air, the sights, the sounds. That calms me a lot. And then there are other times it's all about family, everybody, children included, especially the children. And I really love my family, love spending time with them. So that's where I tend to get a boost, especially if I'm feeling rather low. And then there is just good old television. Sometimes you just want to be there and get lost in a good movie or a good series, and that really helps me to reground recenter my focus. And of course, I make time for prayer as well. That is something that I cannot discount. So every day, before anything else, even before my feet touch the ground, it is, Lord, you be there with me and help me and guide me. And those things work for me. Those things definitely keep me outside of the organization. Anything Soca pumps me up, it definitely does. But if I'm being a lot more deep with that song, it has to be Peace by John Yard and Mikey Mercer. Their rendition of Peace. I hope that's the name of the song. But I'm sure if they're watching and they're listening, they'll know which song I'm talking about. It really just it helps me to remember that even when there's trouble, peace can come again. And yeah, that does it for me.